Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Ryan here. Today, I'm going to show you the importance of investing, specifically investing long term, and how you could start building wealth for your retirement or just for any time in the future today. Let's get into it. So, right now, you might be asking yourself, well, if it's really that easy to do and gain all of this wealth over time, why the hell don't people do it already? Well, there's two main reasons for that. Either A, people don't know what to invest in or even what investing is, and B, people are just scared. When it comes to money, who wants to lose money? I've never met a single person who likes losing money, and that's why people don't invest, and that's why people don't earn money. They'd rather keep it safe in a savings account, which is actually one of the riskiest things you could do in the long term because there's this thing called inflation. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's not good. um, but yeah, it's a thing. On average, inflation has been growing around like 3%. Pretty much what that means is, like 30 years ago when you bought a pizza and you wanted to get a bottle of water, it was, I don't know, like 50 cents extra or whatever it was. Then like 10 years ago, that increased to like 75 cents. And then today you're spending a dollar or $2, in some cases $3 for a bottle of water, and people are going bananas about it. And newsflash, it's not stopping anytime soon. If you are investing, or sorry, not investing, and keeping your money in a savings account for the long term, you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt because $100 today in 20 to 30 years when you go to retire isn't going to be worth $100. So just to give you a sense of the impact of inflation, I could pull up this inflation calculator. You could just get to it literally by typing in inflation calculator. It's one of the first results. So let's say in 2000 we had $100. In order to stay at the same, economic status, economic level, whatever you want to call it, after 20 years, so in 2020, we're going to need $153, exactly 53% more over those 20 years in order to remain at the same stature. So yeah, that's inflation, and that's what's happening to all of our money, even in the savings accounts. So, put your money to work. Have your money work for you. So yeah, another great thing that the banks love doing to you is giving you those fees or even hidden fees. So here at Value Penguin, I just pulled up some savings account fees. Here's some of like the top banks and their savings account fees. A lot of them is just having a minimum, and they charge like monthly for that. So if it's wonderful because if you don't have, the $300, then you get charged. So if you don't have a lot of money, you're just getting triple whammied by these banks. I personally use Charles Schwab. They don't have an account minimum. It's free trading. Everything's pretty much free. There's like only a select few things that are a little more advanced that, the couple bucks maybe. But I would recommend going to Charles Schwab. I set up a Roth IRA account with them, or even if your bank offers a Roth IRA account, but their accounts in general are top of the line. Definitely check them out. Highly recommend before you start putting your money to work to make sure that it's in the right accounts. A Roth IRA is going to be fantastic for long-term investing. So if you don't know what a Roth IRA account is, or retirement accounts, you don't know much about them, I'll just give you a brief overview of them. So there's actually many different types of retirement accounts. I'm just going to show the Roth IRA and the standard IRA account. The difference between the two of them are they're pretty much the same thing except for when it comes to taxes. So with a regular IRA account, it's going to work similar to a 401k, if you know what a 401k is. With a 401k, you go through your company and they use that pre-tax money, so the money that you don't really see, but it goes towards your 401k. It doesn't get taxed when you put it into the 401k, so you get to invest with a little bit more money when you're starting off, which will help, jumpstart your growth. When you go to pull out that money is when you do get taxed, because there's no income in this country without getting taxed. You're going to get taxed one way or the other. So it's a matter of how you choose to get taxed. So yeah, with a 401k, you're going to get taxed whatever the tax rating is when you go to pull out your money is what you're going to get taxed for income tax. And then similar thing with the IRA. The only thing with the IRA is you don't need to go through your employer or your company in order to invest in it. You could, check with your local bank and see if they have IRAs or Roth IRAs available for you. Most of the time they will. Just also check that they don't have like a monthly fee. You don't want to be paying any fees when it comes to your bank accounts. You shouldn't be. If you do, call up your bank, ask them, be like, hey, there's fees here. I don't really want to pay these fees. What are they for? And then, drop the ball on them. Be like, hey, there's some other competitive banks. They caught my attention. I know I've been with you for a certain amount of months or years. And, if I were to switch over to them, I wouldn't be having these fees. Is there anything that you could do? Otherwise, I might have to take my business elsewhere. They want you to stay with them because, they're using your money to invest and make money themselves. So a lot of the times they'll, waive those fees for you. Sorry for that. Going back to the IRA and Roth IRA. So with an IRA, you're paying income tax when you pull out your money, whereas with a Roth IRA, you are paying the tax when you put in your money. So with a Roth IRA, you won't be paying any taxes once you pull out that money down the road. Another key difference between the two is with an IRA, your money is kind of locked up, not technically locked up, but it's pretty much locked up until you retire, which is at age 59 and a half. What I mean by locked up is that's the ideal because if you pull out early from the account before you're age 59 and a half, except for like a few small exceptions, you're going to be paying pretty hefty fees. And then on top of that, you're also going to be paying taxes. With the Roth IRA, since your money that you're investing has already been taxed, whatever money that you put into the Roth IRA, you can take out. So let's say I put in like $300, 1 year. The next year, oh crap, I need that money back. I could pull out that $300. But if it were to make, $500, I can't pull out that $500. I could only pull out the amount of money that I put in. So the reason you would want to choose either an IRA or a Roth IRA, or like your game plan behind it, so knowing that there's different tax rules when it comes to it, or how you invest, like the taxes on your investments, dictates which one you might want to choose. So if you expect that the taxes or the tax rates are going to go up in the future, you're going to want a Roth IRA. You're going to want to be paying today's taxes, which are going to be lower than if you were to, choose a normal IRA and then pay those heftier taxes down the road. But if you think for some reason tax rates are going to go down in the future, then you want an IRA and, wait to pay those lower tax rates down the road rather than pay them now, which might be at a higher price. So that's also another key difference between them. The general prediction amongst a lot of people is that tax rates aren't going to go down, and if anything, they're going to go up, especially now with the whole economic crises that are going on and all the shebangs like that. So yeah, I would definitely open up a Roth IRA. Get yourself already in good standing. Give yourself a good groundwork to start investing, and yeah, from then on, that's when you could start focusing on what you're actually investing in. Alright, so finally, we'll take a look at this mysterious code that was on my screen in the beginning of this video. It's just pretty much a simulation of the what ifs of your investment over time. It's available on GitHub at github.com/whynotcommunity, and yeah, you'll be able to find it pretty easily. I'm gonna run this, and we're gonna take a look at the years from 2000 to 2008. And we're going to have an initial contribution of $1,000. And for now, we're just going to look at the inflation rate and what would have happened in that time frame. Here we have it. You can see from here, from 2000 to 2008, $1,000, or whatever the status quo, whatever your economic status was in 2000 when you had $1,000, In order to have that same economic status in 2008, you're going to need 1250. So yeah, that's a 25% increase over the 8 years, which is around like 3.25% a year. So yeah, you're going to need to have your money work for you, otherwise it's going to be working against you. So now let's see what happens if we were to invest in two very popular ETFs, the SPY and the QQQ, Triple Q, whatever you want to call it. The SPY is pretty much a reflection of the S&P 500, and the Triple Q is a reflection of the NASDAQ. You've probably heard of them here or there in the news. Very common, very popular ETFs, and for good reason. They're very stable, and they go with the top companies around the world. That's what they represent, and you're pretty much investing in all of those companies with one share. I mean, it's a great deal. So, yeah, let's see what would happen if we were to split the amount of money that we were investing, so the $1,000, as a one-time contribution in 2000. Let's see what would happen over time. Yeah, so not ideal. The amount of money within our assets is falling down pretty steadily, and it doesn't help that inflation is going up. So the amount of money that we do have in 2008 is not only minus 200, it's really like minus 400 when calculating inflation. So yeah, for all those people that are scared, this is what people are scared of investing, because they don't want to lose that $400 down the road, when they could just avoid it and just have it instead just being $200 loss. But I'll show you why that's not entirely a correct strategy or a valid strategy. So if we were to, increase this by if we were to go another 5 years, let's say, to 2013. So 13 years have gone by since we initially put in that $1,000, and this is where we end up. So now we, are a little less than 200, so maybe like 150 below our initial investment, and inflation has continued to go up, so now we're minus around 600-ish. So yeah, still not ideal, but this is why I say that time is your friend when it comes to long-term investing, because, down markets aren't going to last forever. They've always gone back up, and there's always been more economic growth than there has been economic loss. Now we're talking in the standpoint of January 1st of 2020. From investing in 2000, $1,000, we could see a significant growth. So in 2000, now we're standing at $2,250, which far surpasses inflation, which would have been around $1,500. So we're looking at a net gains of, $750, which is a lot better than, staying down here on this stagnant line and losing $500 over that long term. But I did say that you could earn potentially a lot more than just a few $100, and that comes down to a different investment strategy. So investing, at least long-term investing, you have to think of it kind of like a plant. If you own a plant and you plant the seed and then just water it the first time that you plant the seed, it's gonna die. Same thing with your investments. I mean, if you don't keep up to date with them, if you don't contribute to them, if you don't water them, if you will, they aren't gonna grow as much as they could have if you were to keep up with them. So let's change our scheme around a little bit, and that's where this input comes in, monthly contribution. Let's just say that every month we were to put in $100 on top of our initial investment. So pretty significant difference. So this dotted line right here, what that represents is the amount of risk that we have made with our account, or also known as like the amount of money that you've put in or contributed to the account over the longevity of the account's existence. So in 2000, we started out with the $1,000, and then every single month we add another $100. So at the end of the year, you are adding an additional $1,200 to your account. and all that money is going towards your portfolio, and this chart shows what happens to your investments over time. So we could see here, before it took, 17-ish years for you to see any gains with your assets. Here, by simply watering your plant or contributing to your account, we're looking at, 5-6 years. Yeah, and you can also see the stability of it too. I mean, this hovers around the line pretty well. Whereas if you were to look at the just one contribution, this diverges pretty significantly. So yeah, let's increase. Yeah, let's continue this to 2020. Let's keep her going. So in 2020, yeah, it keeps going. This is once again the amount of money that you're risking is around just over 20 grand, over 20 years, so about $1,000 a year. And yeah, the amount of returns that you get, so you're looking at a total of like $76,000 in total assets. Yeah, that's definitely a lot stronger than inflation, and definitely a lot better than just keeping your money into a regular savings account. So for all those people that are scared to put your money on the line, I mean this just tells you what history thinks of it. You do have your ups, your downs, especially in the beginning, but once your money starts accumulating and starts picking up pace, you'll see a big improvement in the amount of wealth that you have. And so yeah, just to re-emphasize my point, here's some of the returns between the S&P 500, and I'll also show you the NASDAQ. The green means that you've earned money, and the red means that you've lost money. It doesn't mean that that's how much the price was. We're looking at percentages here. So if it's in the green, it means that it's gain percentage. And even if it lost some amount of money the next year, you still, over those 2 years, could be ahead or have earned more money than you would have if you just remained constant. But even still, you could see there's a lot more green on this graph than there is red. And that just goes to show you that things have continued to grow over time, and it hasn't gone down. I mean, you could see that if you were to look at, the overall returns of the SPY. It's gone up. It's had some downfalls, but overall it's gone up. Same thing with the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, you look at it, it's a lot of green, and this one is especially low with the reds. This one is more technology based, and especially now, technology has, over the past number of years, has been a big improvement, and it shows here. Here in the .com bubble, the economic crisis around 2001 with all technology stocks, they weren't doing so hot, but now they're booming. So before I close out, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. I know, personal finance isn't really taught in school. It really should be, but it's not for whatever reason. It's a really important topic, but if you guys want to, learn more about personal finance, I'm no expert. I'm learning just as much as you guys are learning, so I just want to share my thoughts on it, what I've learned. I have a bunch of books that I'm reading right now. I'm talking to people who are, into investing, what their experiences are like, hoping that one day they'll share their experiences with it, but for now, I'll just give you my insight on it. If you guys want to join the community, please sign up. It's free. I promise you'll learn something, at least a little bit. Share your experiences if you have any knowledge of anything. Everybody will appreciate it. If you learned something today, leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And start on your path for, your retirement plan, your future wealth. It all starts today. This chart just shows it here. It takes time. But at the end of the road, would you rather be in this position, or would you rather, still be down here? I think I know where I'd be. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.